What is going on, everybody, and welcome in to Lineman Life Live. I'm Reserving Lineman Uche Nwaneri here with my co-host, JB Justin Blaylock.
What's happening, good people?
Our seasonal co-host in the house.
There they are.
You're Nathan Tree, 5 Points Videos.
For some reason, wearing the same black shirt.
House.
It's actually blue.
Oh, it looks black on there.
It's blue for big blue.
NFL Week 1's over with, obviously. Some surprises in there, some disappointment in there, some newfound hope for some teams. Your Giants, 5 points.
Yeah.
Getting their first winning record since 2016. So they're I mean, they might be back. I mean, Saquon looked good, man. He looked really good.
He did. And if you know more than anybody, both of y'all know, if you can run the ball, you can win football games.
Yeah.
Period.
Oh, yeah.
They might not be the worst team in the NFC East.
Might not.
We know who the worst team is now. Yo, boys.
Right now.
That is a burning, seething ship in the middle of the ocean with no help on the way.
Well,
they're looking
nobody's
going to
feel bad for Dallas.
Oh, nobody.
Especially with their offseason.
Right.
Then we got week 2 coming up tomorrow night. Kansas City, Los Angeles Chargers. That's so weird to say every time. I have to remind myself as I'm saying it. That should be a good matchup. But and we'll get to predictions later on in the show. But first order of business when it comes to what's going on in the NFL world today, and we've covered this story obviously for a while here on the show, the Brett Favre welfare scandal. Now, if you don't know, or if you didn't catch when we talked about it in previous episodes, Brett Favre is in a lot of hot water right now, and it very well could lead to some potentially criminal charges, I think, based on what has been exposed over the last 24 hours via when you talk about his text messages about getting funds to build a volleyball court for Southern Mississippi
For his daughter.
but let's
right.
let's hold tight there. We got a little video we're going to check out, a newsreel that kind of gives us a quick rundown for those of you who did not get a chance to catch when we talked about it before. Mississippi is kind of rife with scandal right now. So let's look at this video real quick, and we'll react to it.
This hour about a scandal in Mississippi involving an NFL legend.
Brett Favre accused of receiving money from the state's welfare system and diverting it to other causes. Now, an investigative report by Mississippi Today reveals a former state governor may be involved too. NBC News Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Delaney is following this story from D.C. So, Ken, what do we know about these texts that are out there and what they say?
And to be clear, Aaron, NBC News has obtained these texts, which are part of court records. And just to set the stage for you, this is a massive scandal that's been erupting for the last 2 years. As much as $80 million in federal welfare money intended for poor women and children were diverted to a number of projects, including some $8 million to projects involving Brett Favre. And Favre has always said that he never knew this was welfare money, but these newly released text messages show how deeply involved he was in lobbying the state then Republican Governor Phil Bryant to try to get this money for projects including a volleyball facility at the University of Mississippi where Favre's daughter was playing the sport.
Pause it for a second.
Who was employed by the state.
So is it cool if it's just like infrastructure money that I'm stealing? If it's not welfare money, it's cool to steal, right?
It varies on what it is. Most of the state stuff is pretty corrupt either way. It's we just figured out about this one.
Yeah.
But I think the thing here is, the thing to me about this is that, when you look at the state of Mississippi, it's really the poorest. It's the poorest state in the country. Mm-hmm. I think they're ranked last in education, and just recently, the water system, the drinking water system, completely failed on a part of the state, on their biggest city, Jackson. People, and when that water failed, I believe it was the governor who came out on TV in a press conference and told people that water ain't free. It's not free to fix that thing, and they're gonna have to buy water until this, gets handled. He leaned into the fact that the money it's going to cost to fix this problem, but on the other side of that, you've got $80 million in federal funds. That's from the federal government. This is like money that really, I think that in and of itself makes this a federal case more than a state case, because the feds are going to want to, are going to be involved in this. Mm-hmm. You've got 80 million that got basically stolen, 80 million misappropriated, misused. And, honestly, I feel like the story should be bigger than it is. I think it's catching wind because of these text messages, but this is something that I've been talking about this for months, and it just was unbelievable to me that of all things, he got this money to build a volleyball stadium, an $8 million volleyball stadium for his daughter's school, who attended the college at Southern Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Like, this is like,
are they good at volleyball?
It's not even like a good, it's not Mississippi State or Ole Miss. It's Southern Mississippi. Like,
it's just like the goal of it. Like, how do you not know? How does he not know where the money came from? That's just total hogwash. But let's keep listening, because they're going to actually go through the text messages. And I think everybody's seen the text messages. Messages at this point. But the dude literally is trying to he's inquiring about can this get out to the media? Well, let's keep listening.
People don't understand.
Trying to sue to get some of the money back, and was fired when he sent out a subpoena for information about this volleyball facility. Take a listen to what he had to say.
The texts do tell us a much deeper story about the Governor Bryant's involvement in this $5 million transaction.
And what do they say about Brett Favre's culpability or state of mind?
Well, Mr. Favre, of course, did not take an oath to enforce the law neutrally. The governor did. But they both were very much engaged over apparently a 3-year period in getting this done.
And ultimately, they did get the money for that volleyball facility for $4 million, guys.
So, Ken, what's next here? How could these texts be used by investigators?
So there is an open FBI investigation into this situation. In fact, Brett Favre's attorney told us he had been interviewed by the FBI some time ago. There's no evidence that he is currently under law enforcement scrutiny, but 2 people have pleaded guilty in state court in this case, and the FBI remains very actively investigating, Aaron.
All right, we should let folks know you can see more of Ken's reporting tonight on NBC Nightly News with Lester.
Well, damn, they didn't even show the damn text.
Yeah.
All right, here are the texts. I got the text right here.
Yeah.
Let me pull them up. Damn, I really thought, I hadn't seen the video, so I'm just assuming that
you figured they'd at least tell the text, or at least have some semblance of it. They're all over
read it all.
That's a big thing. I don't know.
Paraphrase at least.
Fucking amateur night.
It's NBC. They got to talk about the freight rail strike.
I know. So here's the text. August 3rd, 2017, Brett Favre. If you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much? That right there alone, he knows where it's coming from. Mm-hmm. Because he's specifically asking if they can find out where it came from, which means he knows already where it came from, where it's coming from. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's an admission right there.
He knows it's not coming from something he's earned for sure.
Exactly. He knows that this is a backdoor deal. That's what he knows. He knows this is a backdoor deal. That's why he's asking about the media and if they can find out where it came from and how much he's getting. And the response is, and this is a Nancy New. This lady, her and her son blew hella money. Oh my goodness, they blew so much money. I think they were the ones who had the majority of the 80 million.
Yeah, and if they didn't blow that money, then none of this is even in the news. If that doesn't come out, nobody knows about Brett Favre's involvement.
I mean,
That's the sad part.
this is the thing. They invested in Brett Favre's company with some of that money, millions. You know, so it's like they're they're just it's a circle. They're just feeding each
That's
other.
how corruption
Oh, yeah.
works generally.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
how it
much. It happened in California. Artie Moreno, the owner of the Angels, got like a real sweetheart deal for Angel Stadium and the land around it a couple of years ago. For I think like $330 million for land in Anaheim, California. And they realized it's like, wait a minute, like, yeah, they were going to build it up in this complex. They realized, like, wait a minute. Why did he get this so cheap? Land in California. Yeah, I mean, $300 million. You'd be lucky to get like a 5-bedroom house for that. But I mean, the problem is, it realized he was actually giving like a couple mil to the mayor as like a kickback.
Yeah.
So that's a corruption scandal, and the whole sale got voided.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So the response here from Nancy New is no. We have never had that information publicized. I understand you being uneasy about that, though. Well, why would he be uneasy about that? Why?
I don't know.
Right. But
Let's
still,
see what
like,
happens on Monday with the conversation with some of the folks at Southern. Maybe it will click with them. Hopefully. What were you gonna say, Five?
oh no, I mean, like the thing is, like, we look at this and we know what's going on because we can read and we can interpret. But a lawyer in front of a judge will tear that shit to. But he's like, "There's nothing criminal here.
Right. It's not what
I don't
you know,
see
what
anything."
you can
He
prove.
could be referring to, like deferred payments, or injury settlement money. Like, there's nothing specific there. Like,
Yeah, that's how the lawyers will get it.
that's how
It could be.
lawyers
It could be money
Okay.
from like his elbow and shoulder pad.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
Rice.
I don't
Maybe
think
it's
it's
that.
Hold
done
on.
legally.
Hold
Yeah.
on, though. This is the,
Only
this is
in
the
common
thing, though.
sense.
This is the thing. She responds after he says, "Okay, thanks." She responds the next day, "Wow, just got off the phone with Phil Bryant, the former governor. He is on board with us. We will get this done." I mean, what all you have to do is go look at records of what Phil Bryant was involved in
right.
at
What
that
this
time,
is, right?
and you can figure out what they're talking about. I mean,
I
and the crazy thing is,
I don't think they
that
let you
all
connect
these
the dots
people,
like that.
all these people, they just openly text each other about this shit.
Yeah.
They do.
Crazy. Like, hey,
I mean,
you want to open line, dude?
the motherfuckers in the street, they're like, "Nah, meet me at the gas station on the corner. We gonna talk
Right.
face to face.
Even,
No, don't ever hit me up about this."
even the cartels have burner phones. They break
Right.
that shit after
Yeah.
they're done
They're out
talking.
here like Joe Pesci in Casino, talking.
Yeah.
fucking
Not
hand over
realizing
mouth.
their phone
You
is
know what I
tapped.
mean?
Yeah,
This is-
if you don't realize the government has every single text all of us have taken, then you're a moron. That was revealed like 10 years ago.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that's,
They can
yeah,
access. They
that's-
have Freedom of Information Act
At
They can
any
request
time they want.
anything. There's
At any
archives of
time.
all that shit. Oh,
You could have deleted it a year ago. There's a good chance they can get it.
oh yeah.
Now, I
Unless
know
you're
that
Daniel Snyder.
Right. Unless you're a powerful owner of an NFL
Hey,
franchise.
Daniel Snyder has been ducking in a subpoena to testify for 2 months. He's been ducking it on a yacht
Yeah.
in
He's like,
international
can we
waters.
do it via Zoom?
I mean,
Yeah.
No, you can't get internet on the sea for whatever
Yeah.
reason. It'll be
I
like,
mean, why have
oh,
all
no,
that
I
money?
can't hear you.
why have all that money in yachts if you're not going to take advantage?
Yeah, true that.
It's a write-off.
Come get me.
All right, so that's the gist on that. Now, there's been a pretty nice take that people have been talking about in the Twitterverse from Shannon Sharp. We're gonna take a look at that because I think that I haven't seen it, but I heard he goes in on Brett Favre, like goes in hammer time on him. So let's take a look at this. We can react to it, discuss it as we go through it. It's about close to 7 minutes. So we'll have time to break stuff down as we go. Let me pull it up here. All right. Skip.
Oh, I bet he's having fun this week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
God. All right, here we go.
Got a little yak next to him.
Well, I don't think none can tarnish it because if you go back and look at his history when he played in the NFL, they should have tarnished it already. I talked to people that was in the room when Brett Favre went to the Hall of Fame, and nobody mentioned about text messages that he sent to that jet masseuse. Nobody mentioned anything about the addiction that he suffered from. But yet, T.O., They brought up everything. Can you imagine if T.O. would have had an incidents like Brett Favre off the field? T.O. still, to this day right now, would not be in the Hall of Fame. Yet they walked right past it like Brett Favre did nothing.
That is true. I give you that.
The problem that I have with this situation.
Yep.
Brett Favre doesn't have a great reputation.
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
He was there.
I think-
Deshaun Watson with that Jets reporter, Jen Sturgeon or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, sent her dick pics, right?
Yeah.
Yep, with Crux. Everyone made fun of
I
him.
mean, dude, who sends dick pics? I mean, you're literally just setting yourself up.
Right.
Yeah.
For when that shit comes out, it's gonna be all downhill. But you know,
yeah,
I'll give him
he
some
doesn't have a great.
because he was pretty funny in Something About Mary. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
Give him
when
a
I
pass.
the first
only
time I
redeeming
saw
quality.
Brett Favre, first time I saw him in person was my third preseason game my rookie year. We played at Green Bay, at Lambeau, and you know they introduced the entire. This is back when they kind of still did. I mean, hell, this is 2007, so they kind of still did like team or offensive introductions like more often, and you know they bring out the whole Green Bay offense. And then they fucking cut the lights, put a spotlight down on the tunnel, and then you just hear them saying, and now. It was like fucking WWE.
Oh, he's a diva for sure.
And now your starting quarterback for the Green Bay. And he comes jogging out, and I'm just standing there like, that's Brett Favre. I watched him play the Super Bowl game years ago. Like, you know, there's a little bit of a bigger than life thing there, but you know, obviously, as a player, once you get into the league and you start hearing how your counterparts feel about other players, Brett Favre never really had a good. I mean, I've heard people talk. I've heard, well, I won't say name, but a cat that we played with who had been in Green Bay, he said he was a dick. I mean, straight up and down. So, anyways, let's keep going with this video. Let's hear what Shannon has to say. Oh, Shay.
You got to be a sorry mofo to steal from the lowest of the low. Skip, Mississippi is the poorest state in our country.
It is.
Its citizens. So if they're the poorest state, Brett Favre is taken from the underserved. You made $100+ million in the NFL. And they talk about what he didn't know. This is what Brett Favre takes. If you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much? So if you got to ask this question, is there any way the media can find out? You already know you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
The mere fact that you don't want anybody to know. So you know you're doing something wrong. And Skip, he wanted to seem so philanthropic. He wanted to change the perception of the narrative. He take money for some damn volleyball arena.
Well, his
daughter plays. So, but you see what Brett?
Hey, I thought he's finna swing on Skip.
I mean, he's essentially like the opposite of Robin Hood at this point.
Yeah. He's taking.
I don't know if there's a name for that, but
taking from the poor to make himself more rich.
Yeah, he's just
that's
one
called
of
a
those
politician.
people. Yeah, he's just
What a fucking
he's just the
scumbag.
rich.
Favre did for his alma mater.
Mm-hmm.
No, he didn't get no money came out of his pocket. He stole money from people that really needed that money.
Yep.
Man, this is.
And you know, here's an interesting fact. Sorry to pause it again. You know that Mississippi's welfare department denied like 90% of applicants for welfare. That was last year. They denied 90%. So they're not even like giving them the money to begin with. They're holding the money and then they're using the money. Like that's like, I mean, it's gross, honestly, but it's probably not as uncommon as you might think with this breaking and being big news. It's probably a lot more common that kind of shit happens all across the country. Yeah. These people there's no oversight. Nobody's looking at them.
I mean, the only reason why we know about it now is because it's a former NFL player.
No, the FBI.
Instead of Brett Favre, it's probably like Brett Foley. Nobody knows about this. It's just like an overthought in the news. That's a sad
Mark
part.
Chmura? What?
No,
The
Chmura.
FBI interviewed Brett Favre, I believe, too. But we'll if we got time, we'll take a look. But let's keep going.
This is embarrassing. And he's not the only one. Ted DiBiase, a former wrestler, even Marcus Dupree, a great running back at the school that you loved growing up, Oklahoma. He got money. How can you got to be really low to take from the poorest of the poor? Brett, you ain't got enough money? Okay, Skip, listen. You know you're not supposed to have this. But how about go give the damn speeches? They're paying you to give speeches, and you didn't even give the speeches. And now you won't even pay the money back. And they fired one of the guys that say he tried to recruit the money. They fired him to well, he was a Clinton appointee. This was political.
I'll throw this out there. If you live in Mississippi, I will do a speech for $500,000 and actually show up.
Hey, this motherfucker got like 800. I think he got like 800,000 to do speeches. He didn't.
Have y'all ever been to Mississippi in the summertime?
Hell, man, please.
That's got to be.
Thank God I have not.
It is literally the worst. Like, it's
dangerous.
Terrible.
It was worse than Jacksonville last year.
Yeah, it's hot. It's sticky. There's bugs like everywhere. Like Mississippi. Like, I grew up in Alabama, and Alabama's pretty bad, but Mississippi is somehow worse. Like, it is rough because, I mean, the river's right there, so it's just humid all the time and sticky. It's a poor place, and because like no one other than like the Gulf Coast and shit, like no one wants to live there.
Yeah, who the fuck wants to live in the middle of the bush? Shitting me, that might as well shoot. That ain't no different than Africa.
Right.
Shoot.
Like, who was the guy that was like walking across America? Yeah, let's settle here.
This seems like a good spot. Yeah, well, the grass is fucking half dead, and there's not even we don't even have any resources here. There's nothing to actually use. Anyways,
if the country had an armpit.
Let's keep going.
I guess that's Florida.
I want to see how this. I feel like there's a climax coming here with Shannon Sharp. He's hot.
It always is.
Shouldn't you get the money back? Have nothing to do with politics. The man got and this is what we know. Skip, when black and brown people do fraud the government, they hell bent. Mm-hmm. You get an EBT card and you get WIC and you get stuff like that, boy, they move heaven and earth to try to put you in jail for $400 little measly dollars. Fact. Now this man done took $1 million.
Fucking fact.
I mean, there is a number above which it's okay to steal. I'm still looking for it, but there is a number out there.
I mean, I can't argue with that. I mean, there's a lot of people just scamming a couple $100 off of these damn food stamp cards, and they will put your ass right on in jail for that. And here we have the fucking governor of a state and athletes just yanking all the welfare money. That the money that goes to the EBT cards. So they stealing the people who steal it.
Damn.
I mean, this is all kinds of just backwards.
I mean, there's no honor amongst thieves.
Somebody got $3 million. Somebody got 400,000. Yeah. And they sitting around like, well, it happened, and we'll see. And they're gonna get more money and do it all over again.
And to your point, the Mississippi Department of Human Services had to file a civil lawsuit against Brett Favre because he had not paid back the interest he owed on the $1.1 million that he was fraudulently given for giving no speeches.
Right. And he won't even pay the 1.1 back. He won't even pay the interest on the money.
Right. It's $228,000.
I mean, you got to be really low.
Yeah.
You got to be really low. And people and politicians.
You got to be a rotten motherfucker. That's what he really want to say.
Yeah.
You got to be really low too. To know that this money is supposed to go to the most underserved, and you take it and give it to people that's made millions or got millions or have the potential to make millions, and you're willing to do that, you're willing to let your people starve, you let your people go underserved, and Brett Favre, you took this money, ain't nothing. Skip, this is what we know.
Yeah.
If people like you, there is nothing you can do to turn them against you.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this before now. We see what's going on right now. We got people bending themselves, becoming contortionists, trying to explain away what somebody doing with top secret documents at their location. They're bending themselves in pretzel. Mm-hmm. They're looking like Neo. in the Matrix.
Yep.
So nothing Brett Favre can do. But he's been a sleazeball. He's been shady for a very, very long time.
Ooh, there it is.
To all of your points, the one
mean,
thing
he
I'm
gonna
pretty
take every
sure
chance
about
to
is
put
Brett
John
Favre will
above
not
Brett.
be seen in any more national TV commercials from this
quarterback.
point forward.
Why won't? Skip, they knew about this. He's still in Copper John. He's still throwing passes to
Copper
Jerry
John.
Rice.
Obviously, yes.
I mean, you doing ill. I mean, you communicating
Got him flustered.
through text about illegal activity. You already said, if you pay me, will the media find out about this?
Yep.
Skip,
That's about as damning as it gets.
Skip,
That's
you don't think I
Rico.
want to do something for my school, Savannah State?
That could be Rico. That really could be, because that's all of them working together. More than two people is a conspiracy. Is conspiracy to commit. I mean, that's conspiracy to defraud the U.S. government, basically. Yeah, conspiracy, because that's federal money. Do we got any lawyers in the house? If you're a lawyer in the house, because we ain't lawyers, we don't know shit.
Racketeering, intimidation, and corrupt organization. I just know what RICO stands for.
Yeah,
Also, the guy makes really good tacos. That's my man, Rico.
If we got anybody who knows the legal side of this, feel free to add into the conversation. We'll talk about it. But I mean, it's weird that there hasn't been any. I mean, there haven't been any like real investigations. The FBI is investigating now, but nobody in this. I mean, of course, because it's Mississippi, but nobody in the state has even tried to see. Well, no, there was one guy. He got fired.
Yeah,
he got fired because he was going to have them
Getting too close.
under oath because he found he connected the dots. He connected the dots, and they fired him. Literally, they just on a Friday. They were just like, "Yeah, hey, so we like the job you did, but we're also gonna go a different direction." And they just fired him right there. And that's what they told him. They said, "We like the job you did." Like, okay, slap me in the face with your nuts some more.
Hell, I would like to give them a $5 million, $10 million donation, but I'm not going. I will not put myself to try to seem philanthropic or this great benefactor and to take from Georgia's poorest. They're most underserved. Why the hell would I do that? Now it's probably going to be in my state. Yeah, when I'm gone, yes, Savannah State. I'm gonna leave money for Savannah State, but I ain't got it like that. And I'm not trying to be philanthropic to try to show everybody I am. Where I steal from one, I rob Peter to pay Paul, so people look at me, man. Look at what Shannon Sharp did, bro. For a volleyball arena, $5 million. People need help the most, and you do this, and then you $1.1 million in speeches. Who the hell are you gonna talk to? Poor people don't want to hear no damn encouragement. They need help. They need supplies. For what?
I can't even go to the speech. I'm fucking broke.
Poor people don't want to hear no encouragement.
I gotta work 3 more jobs tonight, motherfucker.
Yo, he's snapping.
You're not giving me my money.
He is snapping pretty hard.
He is snapping.
What speeches is he? Skip, tell me the speeches that he could possibly give that's going to help the Mississippi's most underserved. That's going to do something for them. He ain't bringing no damn food. He ain't bringing water. He's not bringing supplies. How did he help teen pregnancy? What?
And what boggles my mind is he made so much money in the NFL for so long, so much for so long, that he comes across as incredibly miserly. Why couldn't he just give some of his savings? I mean, he's fully capable. He's got deep enough pockets at this point. He could have bought the volleyball. He could have paid the $5 million, right?
But they Skip, everybody wants to spend somebody else's money.
Yeah, well, come on.
I mean, it's just natural. But I mean, but you got to be pretty low that you would take from the most underserved to fill your need, or so you can seem philanthropic. Really? Because if you know they say, man, you see what Brett did? $5 million for a volleyball arena because his daughter played there. He didn't have to do that. He didn't do nothing. The federal government gave that money, but they're quick to talk about.
Stealing's hard work.
Stealing, and then we need to cut out some of this pork and all this. Stop it.
Yep.
The biggest criminals, the people that steal the most, look like that.
Hey, that cat was hot right there. He was hot, and the more that I think about it, like, and he made a good point. Brett Favre did this to seem philanthropic.
Mm-hmm.
This is an ego thing he did. You took 1.1 million to speak to seem like you're like inspirational, but you didn't speak. And then you took what, 4 million from welfare fund. I mean, these all came from welfare funds. You took 4 million to build a volleyball facility for your daughter's alma mater.
Yeah, she doesn't play there anymore. Like,
What are they gonna do? They're gonna give you a fucking plaque.
be one thing if she played
gonna
there.
put-
Like, oh man, the old place was falling apart. She was gonna fuck up her knee, you know, on a bad court or something. I gotta do something. No, I mean,
But
just,
he totally did it for his own
Just to look good.
self gratification. I
just
mean,
look like a decent
that
guy.
is. I mean, do you call that a narcissist? Do you call him a fucking sociopath? Like,
It just seems greedy, you know.
Just an asshole.
Yeah. It's pretty on brand for Brett Favre. If you,
Yeah.
if
No,
you really,
I mean, he's-
dropping a bucket for the whole thing. I mean, if there's
it's just, to me, it's just crazy.
20 other
because-
people doing the same thing.
Yeah, there was a circle of them doing it. But the thing is like what? So he was sitting in his living room one night with his daughter, and his daughter's like, yeah, so it'd be great if we could get a new volleyball arena for the school. You know, they've been using that same one for 20 years. Like, okay, there's stadiums in the NFL that have been there for 50. Maybe. I don't know. But
they're phasing those out.
Yeah, but 20s, like they're starting to change them out now. Tennessee's doing a push. Washington's doing a push. Yeah.
But it's just every time I hear about this Brett Favre situation, it boggles my mind repeatedly because it's just like it's welfare money, dude. It's literally welfare money. Like he'll sit there. I bet you, I guarantee you, Brett Favre will sit there and say, "Oh, I don't like these people who are scamming the welfare system and gaming the system, and they're just not working and this and that." Motherfucker, you just gamed the ultimate game of the system. You just
the exact same
this is the
thing.
ultimate game. You took the money that they was gaming. You took all of it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but
I
you know
hope.
what'll happen is like there'll be an investigation and he'll pay a heavy fine, and that ex-governor.
but it's criminal. But
Yeah.
it's literally criminal.
Or they'll give him like a 6-month suspended sentence or some shit, and he'll just
Man,
go on.
that
What's gonna happen to the
motherfucker,
people that-
he need,
2-year
look, what he
probation.
did is what he did is especially egregious. It's especially egregious.
Because there's people
Because he's taking
counting on
from
that
the
money
poor.
or that need that money, and now in lieu of getting it, they're going to go out and do things that are probably going to land them in jail. Where his
Yeah,
ass
and
should be.
it makes sense. It makes sense now. Now you actually understand why only 10% of the people who apply for welfare in the state get it.
Yeah.
Because they're fucking using it as a slush fund. Like, it's woo. Anyways,
Yeah.
I hope that somebody has to bring some kind of charge. Somebody got to go to jail for that. Somebody has to go to jail.
Yeah,
And
they'll pick a fall guy. They'll pick the bag
Yeah.
man, and he'll do
Oh
6
my
months.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works. That's
Well,
how.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
So, moving on from that, we're gonna do week 2 predictions. Now we're gonna do a little bit different format on this, on this side of it. Tree and 5, check the private chat. There's a link in there for y'all to go to. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use this this season playoff predictor to make our picks for this week's games.
Okay.
It'll keep record of it. It'll keep a record of it. We'll have wins and losses based on what we choose, and we're going to. I said
so
we
we
do
go
a
to week
pot, maybe.
2. Okay.
Yeah,
see.
go to week 2.
Okay, got it.
All right.
So maybe what we do is we create some kind of pool. I guess maybe I mean we could do something like for a charity. I guess like maybe do a pool where we buy in.
We
each
could do
week for like maybe
$5 million
$5
in welfare money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got a friend who can get us some welfare money.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I could use a new volleyball stadium.
Yeah.
How do I get this?
It just goes to show you too, like how people have money and how, like, Brett Favre made a lot of money, but still $5 million is a lot to him.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, like, you see the difference between NFL money or athlete money and real money. And some people have real money. Some people can stroke a $5 million check and their life is completely
Look at
And not even blink.
Look at the Suns owner. He just cut a $10 million check.
Yeah, for what?
Oh, the Suns owner. That's another cat who.
Oh, that guy.
Oh.
That guy. How is he still in the league?
I mean, they made old boy sell his team, didn't they? When he
Sterling. Oh,
Sterling. I guess he was on tape, but I guess they didn't get Sarver on tape.
It was all like it was just interviews, so they can't confirm it.
Yeah.
Hearsay.
Yes. From several hundred employees.
Hey.
He dropped the N-word pretty regularly.
Yes.
Hey, someone calls you a horse 2 times. You gotta start looking.
But that's some shit like that they can get away with too. Like who's gonna challenge them when he says that? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
nobody's gonna say nothing to him.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean,
if I go report this, I'm gonna get fired.
You're gonna get fired, and you'll never work in the league again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people take that chance.
Some people do, for sure.
My ass would be right up the street.
Yeah.
What?
All right, what do we do here with this?
Hey, just swing on his ass. No, so we got week 2 here set up. You guys are all on week 2.
I'm at week.
Let's see how
2,
this
yes.
works.
This
So
is
what we'll
really
do
interesting.
is
I like this.
we'll go through the matchups. You got the AFC side, the NFC side, and the AFC versus NFC games in the middle. And we'll go through and we will, just kind of lay out who we predict. Yeah, give our prediction and why we think we're right. So let's start off. We got the Thursday night game. That is the Chargers they're at Kansas City. Is this at Kansas City? Yes,
Yeah,
Chargers
yeah.
at Kansas City.
Home's on the right, all the way down.
Oh, what? What now?
Home team's on the right, all the way down.
Yeah,
On the right. Yeah, got you.
On the left.
So Kansas City, I mean, come on, man. We thought they were going to slow down. They ain't slowing down.
No.
Not
Chargers
one bit.
look good though.
The Chargers did look good.
Is Keenan
Chargers
Allen
did
going to
look good.
return?
No, he's out for Thursday.
No,
Okay.
he's out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Thursday. Shit.
But Chiefs don't have Butker, so it kind of balances.
Well, they got Justin Reed, who can kick it out of the end zone.
Yeah, but I mean, he has like Joey Sly accuracy, so kind of.
Well, they can sign Rodrigo Blankenship.
Oh, did he get
Well,
cut already?
He did
I mean,
by the end.
yeah,
He got cut by the Colts. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think the Money Badger's
Next
still out there.
Legatron. The dude was a beast in college.
I mean,
Are we going to just pick the winner or scores as well?
I think we just picked the winner.
I'm not that confident.
we'll pick the winners. We'll pick the winners here. I mean, this game is going to be a good game. The Chargers look good. The Chiefs look good. I mean, both quarterbacks obviously are going to be the highlights of this thing. I mean, I really, really like Herbert. I like him a lot.
Stud.
But I cannot bet against Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Kansas
he
City's
looks a
not an
little
easy place
gooder.
to play in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not an easy place to play in. So for me, I'm going with Kansas City with a small margin of small victory margin, 3 points probably. They'll probably win by 3 or 7 at the most. What you think, JB? You up?
Yeah,
I can't show y'all screens, but
yeah.
Oh, I should do it that way.
Trying
Yeah,
to find
I'm
my
going to
notes.
rock with KC as well. After the performance last week, I mean, that you're going to have to score 35 to beat these guys.
Yeah.
Week in, week out.
you have to score 35 to make it to the fourth quarter. Shit. What about you, 5?
I like Kansas City as well. I think this would be a great statement game for the Chargers to win on the road. It's just they won't. So I got Kansas City for here. by like a touchdown, but like probably closer than that. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be fireworks, but it's gonna be one of those like sprint type games where it's just like I score, you score, I score 2, you score 1. You know,
I'd love to see like a 45-42 type situation.
Yeah,
I mean,
A
sure
good
Andy will
old
know as
fashioned
well.
shootout. No defense.
love it.
About you, Treat?
I mean, it's going to be a really close one. I think it's just going to be the Chiefs by like a last minute thing because Kansas City always seems to have the Chargers number. I have no idea how. I have no idea why. It's been very rarely that the Chargers end up winning, but I just don't think it's going to happen in Arrowhead. That's the only problem. I have.
Yeah, dude. Arrowhead is
The only time I've seen
not
that
easy to
happen, I
play.
think, is 2018. I think that was the only time.
I played there. I think it was like 2010 or 2011, and I mean it was like a low reverberating hum of noise. Like
What's louder, guys? Arrowhead or Seattle for y'all? What was louder?
nah, yeah, Seattle was louder. Just a
Yeah.
little
Really?
bit. No, Seattle was louder. It was louder.
Seattle's louder.
I couldn't
The
hear.
Superdome?
I couldn't. I'm
But,
in
the
I'm in
Superdome,
guard,
I
and
think, is even louder than that.
Wow.
Superdome
But,
louder
I mean,
than
also,
Seattle.
I played for their rival.
Yeah,
so-
that's true. They
Okay,
turned it
yeah,
up.
yeah.
They turned it
But
up.
you know,
on
they've been drinking since. Well, they never stopped drinking.
Right.
Yeah,
They've been drinking
yeah.
since Thanksgiving of
Yeah.
last year.
Right. And if you play like a night game or something, they've been out there all day. Just they do their homework. They talk their shit. So.
They know all about you, right? They know.
But you can't hear it,
everything
so it
about
doesn't really matter. You can't even hear
That's how it was
yourself
when we
like
played
yelling.
the Texans. I remember one year we played the Texans and we were doing our O-line drills right by the right in the back of the end zone, and these 3 Texans fans were talking shit to just one of our offensive linemen the whole time. They were like, "Yeah, you're not playing. I can tell you're a backup. Yeah, you look like you suck." and they were talking about his bad stance. They were talking about his pass sets. They were going in on this cat. I'm like, "Yo, relax." Ooh, did y'all Tree? Did you not get the link?
I didn't see it. No,
All right, here we go. My bad. Shit.
it's all right. It's all right.
I don't know why it keeps disappearing.
Yeah, sometimes it's.
But yeah, go ahead and pull it up, and yeah, we'll just keep rolling.
I
here.
got it. Here we go.
All right, so Patriots and Steelers. Steelers, do they look good? Are they good, or were they just lucky beating Cincinnati? And I mean, go ahead.
I mean, I still have no idea what I saw in that game. I'm just sitting there like, I expected them to lose at least 3 separate times. After last touchdown, they got into field goal range, and then when they randomly got to about the 35, which was undone by the holy roller rule, they got undone by a technicality. The defense is really solid. Question is, TJ Watt's going to be out for a while. I like Malik Reed, but he's not going to be TJ Watt. The question and the lucky part is New England's offense is garbage. So it's going to be which offense sucks more? That's the question.
Yeah, this one is like,
And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think Pittsburgh's offense sucks just a touch less. So I'm going to go Pittsburgh.
yeah.
I'll probably end up regretting that, but I mean, Patricia Judge offense is just it's bad. Mac Jones just looks he
look lost out there.
yeah,
He regressed. I mean, it's 1 week, but
yeah, but it's
He's fucking sucks. He's the worst pick we ever
get him
had.
out of the fucking league.
the bomb.
I mean, look, New England. I mean, dare we say that Bill Belichick could potentially be on the hot seat if they go 0-3?
No, that dude's a legend. He could go 0 for the next 2 years.
Dude, the NFL don't give a shit.
If he was doing crazy stuff, but they just made the playoffs with a shitty roster. So I don't think he's on the hot seat for any reason.
I don't think he's on the hot seat, but could it be possible that is something that could happen this year if they don't?
Nah.
If they're just barely floating. You know,
They'll
just
be
barely at
fine.
500.
Wow. Belichick, they will never fire him.
Was he like
it would turn out to
65,
be like
67?
Tom Land. He's like 67, 68.
Yeah,
He's
he could probably.
70.
Is he? I know Pete
Yeah, he's
Carroll's
70.
70. Well,
Yeah, Belichick's 70.
he could lose until he's 70 and still be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just, just the hypothetical.
Anyone else? Any like
They
mere
look that
mortal?
bad. They looked that bad last week, though. They looked bad.
It was pretty ugly.
They looked really bad. So, yeah, I think Steelers win this one. I think they probably, I think they win by
Someone's
10.
gonna have to get a
be honest.
defensive touchdown because the offenses are that fucking bad.
Yeah. There's probably going to be a score on defense. What about you, 5? Who you going with, Steelers?
I got the Steelers. It's at home.
All right, so
This is the down year for the Patriots. This might be the year that they just don't make the playoffs. And yeah, just like Tree said, the Steelers will win on some absolute bullshit. It'll still be a close game though. Steelers will play down to the Patriots.
Yeah,
and that's crazy to say that.
I'm not sure
their offense does play down sometimes.
Yeah, but I think I'm also going Steelers. I mean, Mike Tomlin's gonna find a way to get 9, so this just has to be one of them.
Hey, I thought this would be like a really hard season for Mike Tomlin to hold on to not having a losing record as a head coach. They kind of, they looks like he's doing it again. Looks
Beating
like he's managing
Cincy
it.
in week 1 really helps their cause.
That defense looks studly.
Yeah, the defense.
I didn't think they had a damn prayer. I didn't. Think
I thought they were going to lose, but I'm just sitting there like after they have like 5 interceptions, 7 sacks, endless pressures. They made Cincy's new offensive line look awful,
look terrible. Yeah,
like Joe Burrow had just not a prayer until they tried to adjust to a more short passing game. And
long live the offensive line, just like the old.
Yeah,
line.
I tried to hype them up before the season, but goddamn.
Yeah, right back where we started.
Moving on. Next game up, Indy at Jacksonville. My Jags. There is no team in the AFC South has won a game yet. And I think the Colts are coming off of a tie with the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is in Jacksonville. I'm going to go ahead and, let you know. It's in Duval, so Jags are going to win that. The Colts don't play well in Jacksonville, and they looked pretty bad on offense till about the middle of the third quarter against Houston, and that's kind of inexcusable. So, I think the Jags will pick it up a little bit more this week. They played well in the second half against the Commanders. First half they were sleepwalking. Second half they came out. They played well. They got a lead, and they jagged it off. So
Jags gonna
jag it off every once in a while.
Jags
this would be a good feel good week. This would be a good week to get that good feeling back. Get a W against the Colts. I'm going with Jacksonville.
No, I don't know if they were just getting like great garbage time numbers, but they put up everything but points. The Colts, I'm saying. And they got my quarterback. That's my quarterback. I'm gonna say Colts on this one. Sorry, Uche.
Oh, you son of a bitch! 5. Who you got?
I'm going Colts all the way.
What the?
Dude, the Jags are bad. You just lost to the other ex-Colts quarterback ain't nobody want, and he is trash.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say Matty Ryan is mad that they tied, and he's gonna go out and handle the Jags in Duval. I've seen
hurting me here.
Dude, Trevor Lawrence, when he took the team out the tunnel, he couldn't get me excited to like wash my car. Like he couldn't he couldn't motivate me to do anything.
Y'all over here clowning my Jags. What the fuck is this? What the fuck
I'm
is
just
going on
saying.
here?
He was like, all right, this is what we've been waiting for. Let's show them what we're all about. Let's go. I'm just like, whoa, Trevor.
That's called poise. That's called poise, my friend.
Though we did say, a lot of times, a lot of leaders can be really boring and then go out and fucking kick ass on the football field. And you don't give a fuck what their pregame speech was like. You're just like, damn, that motherfucker's good. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
But
I don't
that's
think
when you-
MJ was, let's fucking go. We gotta fucking go. No,
He's
MJ was
like
like,
listening to Jodeci before games and shit.
Yeah. I don't think MJ
MJ
said
was
shit.
slapping motherfuckers. He was slapping cats during the timeout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
true.
he just needs to like delegate to someone else. Like the hype guy.
Yeah, Pippen or somebody.
Rodman.
Yeah, I got the Colts.
Yeah. Tree. Who the
Oh.
fuck you got?
Oh man, I'm on the spot. This is a tough one because, quite frankly, I'm not that hot on Indianapolis. But at the same time, Doug Peterson made some really iffy calls, especially in the playbook. I mean, 4th down to Travis Etienne and a really bad drop. I'm like, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that got him fired in Philly. Sorry, Uche. But I mean, it's tough because Indy doesn't do well in Jacksonville. I don't know why, but like they always play poorly. They've lost in 2020. They had the embarrassing loss in 2021. I think they haven't won there since what, 2014 or something?
Damn.
It's been a while.
I think so. I remember that. So honestly, I think tradition maintains. I think Jacksonville wins just because they just can't win in Duval.
I'm telling you, it's mental. It's not a matter of running plays. It's a matter of of knowing that you're gonna lose. And they know when they come to Duval, they're gonna lose. All right, let's keep moving here. We got Jets at Browns. The Jets are looking like the fucking Jets. And Cleveland, they're not looking great, but I'm going with Cleveland at home. I feel like their defense is going to play well enough. They still got that two-headed monster at running back. So as long as they have that, especially against a team like this, which has injuries and just poor play, poor discipline, fumble in the ball. Yeah, and they got Joe Flacco back there. Oh, yeah. It's going to be the Browns for me.
Be careful. Robert Saleh's keeping receipts. He's going to come back to haunt you.
Keep them receipts.
Is he gonna do a little like notepad, like paper thing that just says "eliminate explosive" and mail it to my door? Is that what it's gonna be?
I'm not too worried about anything going
Browns on this.
I'm going Browns also. Jets, golly, and this hurts because Joe Flacco's my age, and know the guy, but yeah, not it, man, not it.
He had one good playoff run.
Hey, he milked the fuck out of that thing.
I mean, dude, he got a big contract. He got paid.
Got bread off it. Who you got, 5?
People forget Myles Garrett is still a Brown. They played really good defense. They went out and won a game that that Baker Mayfield just really wanted to win. I like the Browns, and the Jets are trash. So there's still many. If they had Zach Wilson, I would think they would have a chance. Salah's a good coach. They're just
motherfucker.
What's that?
The motherfucker.
The motherfucker.
Yeah, the motherfucker. The mofo. He's definitely a better quarterback than Joe Flacco. So the Jets are just bad, dude. So I'll go with Cleveland, who can actually defend.
Okay. All right. Jets. I'm just gonna say one thing. Start Mike White. You goddamn cowards. I'm going Cleveland.
Cleveland all the way around. Next game up, we got Miami at Baltimore. This should be a good game. This is two good defenses, two good offenses. I think for me, man, this is a tough one. I mean, you always got to account for Lamar Jackson. You know he's going to be dynamic. Man, I think this is a toss-up. This is a 50-50 game, but honestly, I like that Miami. I like Miami. I think I'm gonna go with Miami on this. Miami has they got their shit together. I feel like they looked good last week. They've been putting these pieces in place for years. So this is kind of like the finished product, so to speak, for them. I like them. I like them stunning Baltimore on the road.
I think I agree with you. I really like what they've done in the offseason. Goodness. I mean, they say speed kills, and they got it in spades.
Yeah.
I mean, these
This
guys
might be the best offense Miami's put out in a long time.
I mean, they got two guys that can outrun almost any angle.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you do against this? I mean, I can only
lose.
Like I can only bracket and double and do so much to one side of the field. Let alone if there's two guys that have that type of dynamic playmaking ability. I'm excited for what they've put together, and then hopefully Tua keeps on playing well, and they get to exploit some people and put up some crazy numbers.
Yeah, I think they're going to be. I think that they're going to be one of the top offenses this year if they keep playing like they played in the first week.
Got a pretty good tight end as well. I mean, one of the faster running backs out there.
Is Mostert playing with them? Playing?
He didn't get much. He didn't get much burn last week. I think they were.
They got to break them in. You got to load balance.
True. But I thought that would be Mike. What's the fucking guy's name? The head coach.
McDaniel.
Yeah,
McDaniel.
Yeah.
I thought that would be like his guy that he brought over, and it wouldn't be as difficult to transition. I keep wanting to call him like Malibu's most wanted.
What you think, Five? Who you think's pulling this one out? This is a
Look,
tough one.
I'll never be sold on Tua. He's an Alabama quarterback, and you know how Alabama quarterbacks be. I don't care. They've had chance after chance to produce a decent Alabama quarterback. Everyone, when I made a video about them saying, AJ McCarron, Greg McElroy, who else was the starter? I forget.
How far you going back to like
Jalen
Jordan
Hurts.
days?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts had to go to Oklahoma to be good. I always trust Lamar. I'm going to say the Ravens here because Lamar's a beast. That's all I got to say.
No doubt. Get that
my reason.
Get that man his money.
Yeah.
What you got, Trey?
Ooh, this once again, it's a tough call because I feel like it could go either way. But for whatever reason, I feel like Lamar Jackson is on a warpath. I feel like he's going to destroy everything he touches. I'm going Baltimore. They look stronger, especially with the health.
All right, Baltimore it is for 5 and 3. And me and JB got Miami on Sunday. Next up, Houston and Denver. One team actually has a better record. The team with the better record is actually the Houston Texans. I mean, this should be a get right game for Denver. I mean, their clock management during the game against Seattle aside, they can make plays as an offense. Their defense, is solid, but it's not rocket science. It's football. So the coaches got to get out of their own damn way and actually, drill how to manage the clock when you're in clutch situations. You can't run 20, 30 seconds off the clock and then call a timeout inside 2 minutes. Like, that's just stupid. But they're back in Mile High. They're going to get some of that home cooking. I think Denver pulls this out. I think Denver blows out Houston in this one.
They better.
That's what I'm picking.
I think they win big also. I mean, a good team is you're going to win some or lose some games that you probably shouldn't. But how you bounce back from those good teams with good leadership bounce back in a strong way. So I expect
especially when you got suckers on the schedule, which, I mean, let's be real. It's still the NFL. You can lose to the Texans if you can fuck that off.
Oh, no question.
It would be a massive folly if they did, but I don't see that happening.
To fuck off 2 in a row? I mean,
no, there's no way. You can't. Not against the Texans. You can't do that.
The dude won't let that abide.
The dude does not abide.
Dude does
that
not
puts
abide.
a whole new look on a whole new perspective on the season for them if they somehow manage to fuck. If this game is within 10 points, then there's still questions that have to be asked about them. So,
Can I get is there a warranty on this $250 million?
For real, do I get a manufacturer's warranty on this shit? Can we take you back?
I need some of that back.
Who you got? Who you going with? Five.
Yeah, they lost to Seattle, but on both plays in the red zone where they fumbled, the timing was off. The snap came either early or late, and that's what caused the runner to get hit before any type of push occurred. So, those two moments don't happen, and they just take the field goals. They win that game like no sweat. So, definitely Seattle had home cooking, and Denver's back at home, and they're playing what every team loves to see after going 0-1, which is the actual tank machine, the Houston Texans. I will take the Denver Broncos over
the Houston Texans.
Might even play the spread on that one. I don't even care what it is. Might be double digits though. Tough to bet double digits in the NFL.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Either side too. You never know.
Yeah, because you never know. And
NFL is way more variable than college for sure.
What about Tree? What you got?
Oh, I mean, Nathaniel Hackett isn't going to mess this up, right? Like, is he? I mean, I'm going Denver. You have to.
Yeah, have to.
Might be ugly, but it's going to be Denver.
Well, now he's going to go for a 4th down that he shouldn't, just to make up for this one.
He'll do the Bill O'Brien special, 4th and 5 at his own 30.
It was Garrett. Garrett would do that shit. He got criticized so hard for not going for it. Then he started going for it and not getting it. And he just couldn't win,
Ooh. Next game up, Tennessee at Buffalo. Tennessee, they blew it against the Giants. They actually had a solid lead in that game, gave it up, and lost the game due to Saquon Barkley's 2-point conversion. They're going into Buffalo. It's not looking good to me. I think Buffalo is about to trounce their ass. Buffalo looks like they're on an actual warpath right now. So I'm going with Buffalo. JB, who you got?
Yeah, Von Miller still hasn't been blocked.
She's still for real. That cat just been. He is the most sought after mercenary in the history or in the NFL. Like, he is literally, you give me money, I'll come make your team right.
I still can't believe Denver just let him go. Like, they couldn't, come to terms.
They let him go like he wasn't shit.
Yeah,
basically.
I mean, obviously he wanted to sign for the most money, and Buffalo gave it to him. But it's hard to believe that you can't work that out. They'd be so much better with him, even overpaying him.
Yes,
but whatever.
That's the guy you overpay for.
Yeah,
they got solid D-line rotation, which I know me and Uche can't fucking stand. When I get tired and this guy comes in, I'm like, oh, okay.
Whew, they got depth. They just
and the motherfucker comes off the ball bringing smoke. That is the last thing I'm trying to see.
All the smoke.
Yeah, Buffalo pretty big here.
Yeah.
I didn't even talk about the fucking offense.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to. Them boys look that good. 5.
I'd say Buffalo. They the home fans are waiting for this. Tennessee is a notoriously slow starter. Takes a while for them to get their schemes together for Derrick Henry and to block for him. And maybe this year's different. You saw what the Giants did. They just hit Henry hard. And that's what you got to do. You got to fight fire with fire. But I think Buffalo looks like a team that could easily get out to an 8-0, maybe even 9-0 start, just because they're that good.
Yeah.
So I got Buffalo.
Tennessee is a weird team because whenever you think they're going to fall apart, they lose to a really bad team. They come out and pull these really big wins out of their ass on the road. I have no idea why. This is the kind of game that Tennessee's going to win. Like random gutsy win. They pull a game-winning field goal by Fat Randy 55 yards out, and we're all just sitting there like, what the hell was this? That's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Wow, you're really taking Tennessee.
Tree taking Tennessee.
Okay.
It just feels like that kind of week.
Yeah. All right. Hey, it could be. All right. We got AFC versus NFC games. We got the Cardinals at Las Vegas. Both these teams didn't look particularly sharp, or I mean, I'd say the Raiders looked a little bit better than the Cardinals. I just don't have faith in the Cardinals as a franchise right now. I don't think that they're. I think that they feel like they're flying higher than they actually really are, and there's just. I mean, it just doesn't feel good. They just don't feel like they have. They just don't have it. They just don't have it. I mean, we've seen them bust out to good, starts to the seasons past couple of years, but this year, especially after that playoff game, did something to them. I think because it was ugly. But I like Vegas at home. I'm going with Vegas at home. Derek Carr, Devontae Adams. They get a little bit more in sync. Maybe not so many bad decisions throwing the ball that Derek Carr had last week. And they kind of clean things up a little bit. I'm going with Las Vegas.
Yeah, I think Vegas here. I think they'll click a little bit more this week. The Raiders' offense, I should say, just too many talented pieces not to.
They made some moves. They got some.
With more time on task, this could be a really scary offense. And like you, the fucking Cardinals are so mercurial. Up, down, mostly down lately.
Yeah. I'm going to go
clearly not doing their homework.
I'm actually going to go the opposite of you. I'm going to say the Cardinals take this game because these are both mercurial teams, and just like Tree said, it's going to be one of those weeks maybe, and you got to pick one. That's going to be crazy. I think the Cardinals. For no other reason than they look like shit, but everybody looks like shit against the Chiefs.
Who's more prone to have a disaster happen to them in a game? I would say the Raiders are probably more prone, but I still like them.
I still say, in the black hole, that's a big question. Arizona, too. Their defense looked rough. They had nothing against Mahomes. I think Derek Carr is a much better game than he did last time. He tried to force a lot of balls in the fourth quarter. So I think he does better there. And also, I don't know how Arizona gets anything going on offense, even with the weakened defense of the Raiders. So I got to go Raiders, but I think it's going to be close.
All right. Let's keep it moving here. Oh, Bengals at Dallas. This is a get-right game for the Bengals, I think, because
fuck you.
The shit they put on the field last week was utterly
atrocious.
It was bad. It was pathetic. And it's crazy because they did the right things in the offseason, got the O-line, set them up, and they go out and give up 7 sacks in the first game of the season. And 5 turnovers, 4 interceptions? I mean,
something like that.
The silver lining in this is that ain't nowhere to go but up. Shoot, you ain't got no wins. So, you can go, you can get the ship set right, and I think they will. I think they've developed enough culture there, or because going through last year, to kind of set themselves steady and get a good week of practice in. Cowboys, the Cowboys are I would say the Cowboys are almost in panic mode. They might be in panic mode.
They already are.
Yeah, they might already be in panic mode because, they're imploding right now. They are literally imploding. Their quarterback's gone. Their left tackle's gone. Their defense is getting rocked. I mean,
They lost a lot of depth in the offseason.
Yeah.
yes, and they lost. I mean, the trades, the what's his name, releasing Amari
Lyle
Cooper,
Collins,
Lyle Collins,
Peanuts.
like all these
Brandon
mistakes.
Gregory.
No, they wish they
that
had
they
Collins right
made.
now. Shit.
Yeah, they merely pissed off DeMarcus Lawrence. They had to restructure
Oh,
him
yeah.
at the last moment.
Oh yeah, and I mean they just paid him like 2 years ago, so it's like what the fuck. Cowboys are they're in deep trouble. I'm going with Cincinnati on this one. I think they get that. I think they get this one pretty solid. Maybe a 10-point, 14-point win.
Can I recuse myself?
He said, I'm gonna abstain from voting. I'm gonna abstain.
This hurts. But yeah, Bengals big here. Gosh, never thought I'd say it. If
Cowboys can't beat the Bengals.
If we refuse to score touchdowns, doesn't bode well for beating anybody. But I think, like you said, they're going to be on the get right and probably show out against us.
Oh, they're gonna show out. You know they will.
Yeah.
But I do have Jamar Chase.
They're gonna be doing the grit. They're gonna be doing the gritty all over the field.
Fuck. Yeah, Bengals big here. Sorry.
What you think? What you think?
I like
pretty sure we all see this the same.
Remember, not many teams honestly can lose their starting quarterback and then beat a playoff team. Like it's really tough. It's Cooper Rush season. Come on. I mean, I know he won his game last year that he started, but it wasn't like
he played Minnesota.
Yeah, it wasn't like that, Like, and Minnesota was coached by Mike Zimmer at that time. So I got the Bengals here. This is and if the Bengals lose to a limping Cowboy team, the season's over.
Oh yeah, it's over.
Yeah, you might as well fire Zach Taylor right now.
Tank it, get another first round pick.
Don't even get on the plane.
For real.
I mean, unless Cooper Rush comes out to be the next Tom Brady, I think this is Bengals by like 20-30. Like it's gonna get out of there.
All right, let's get through these last rung of games. We got Bucks at Saints. Honestly, I think that people may make more of this game than it actually will be. I don't see the Saints. Well, they're in New Orleans, which is big for them. You know what? I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with the Saints. Saints beat the Bucks. Jameis Winston is gonna be
famous Jameis.
I got an interesting take on this. Okay.
I'm trying not to be biased here, but fuck the Saints.
Oh damn! Oh my bad. I forgot y'all were your rivals.
Yeah.
Classic.
Bucks are your rivals too.
Should be with the Bucks, but it's not the same. It really isn't the same at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom's gonna do his thing. Hopefully, take a break from getting reamed by Giselle for a couple minutes and actually focus on playing well.
Hey, Giselle is like, I told this motherfucker to retire.
He promised me.
She
Okay.
missed.
That dude left a pregnant woman. You think he gives two fucks about?
Yeah,
what
he
she
left.
does?
He left Bridget Moynihan with
you.
Yeah, he was like, I'm good.
He
He's
clearly is not about that home life.
And Giselle don't give no head. Don't.
Hey, TB12 for the streets now.
Giselle not giving any top.
said
He's a
for the
supermodel.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I said it. I said it when he unretired. I was like, this motherfucker he sat down on the couch, watching TV, kids running around.
What's this Y equals MX plus B? What?
Wife constantly asking him to do shit around the house, go places with the kids. And he was like, man, fuck this. I'm going back. I'm not leaving.
It's like, Todd, do the lawn, but we have a lawn crew. Just do it. That's pretty much what it is.
Oh, shoot.
And it just goes to show you, no matter who she is, somebody's sick of her ass.
Yep.
Real talk.
Yep.
Real talk.
All right, I got the Bucks here. You know, the thing about the Bucks that people just didn't, I don't know if they didn't notice, they have a hell of a defense, and
their defense is good.
They should have lost to the Falcons. They should have. Like if the Falcons weren't fucking around,
they didn't joke.
Falcons weren't being the Falcons.
Oh, I got the Bucks. Oh, that's an easy call.
Ooh. All right, Tree. What you think?
I think it's going to be the Buccaneers. It's going to be a much closer game than most people would expect. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Saints, mostly because they were injured to hell last year. Brady, I think he's kind of tapered off a little bit. I think he can still be a really good game manager. Depends if Godwin is going to be really missed that much in that system. Can the Saints defensive line really push that weak offensive line, especially with those injuries? That's going to be your big key in the trenches. And to be completely honest with you, I think, once again, Tampa just eases in and just squeaks by just because of their defense.
Okay. We got a $5 super chat here from Leif Upstad. He says, Saturday through Monday was awesome for me. Huskies, Seahawks, and Mariners won. Plus my 3 favorite drivers finished 1, 2, and 3 on Sunday. Bubba, Hamlin, and Bell.
Oh, Bubba won.
Shoot, I hope you
two NASCAR wins.
Yeah, I seen that. I hope you bet on all that shit, Leif.
Right.
You over here talking about it, you better want some money. Shoot,
Right.
ain't nobody trying to. I mean, good they won, but they ain't paying you.
Right, parlay.
So you might as well get paid off them. All right, let's keep going. Carolina at New York. If you would have asked me this 2 weeks ago, I would say Carolina probably, is going to win this. But after watching what they did against Cleveland, and after watching what New York did to Tennessee, I'm going with New York. I think New York. I think Saquon is about to hit stride, real smooth. Like I think we're going to be talking about him this season. He looked really good. He looked like 100%. He looked like he was 100% last week.
Yeah.
So
Burst was back. I also think New York here. Like you said 2 weeks ago, I would have said, "Well, I think somebody's got to win." But it could be tough. But given last week, I think this is New York.
The Giants, they very well have to win this game. I mean, if they have any hope for the postseason, I mean, they just went out and beat Tennessee in Tennessee. But if you're a Giants fan, you know that early in the season when it's bright and sunny out and at MetLife, they always lay an egg. They really struggle in the early weeks in October. Even the years that they won Super Bowls, like they were dog shit in October or September a lot. So like the brain says the Giants should win, but some bullshit will happen. Baker Mayfield is still a hell of a player.
Your trauma. It's your trauma.
And I don't feel great about it. I'll say the Giants, but I don't feel great about it. Like, I don't think it's.
That's probably what a New York fan should say.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in the same boat as Five is. I feel like, this is the kind of game where you think the Giants will take that next step. But every time you think like they try and get to that next step, like they hit like a big pothole and just hit a flat tire. I don't know why. It's just like you think this is a team they should beat, especially with how they played last week. But I keep going to Carolina winning. I don't know why.
Carolina. Okay. I mean, look,
they had a strong showing. They had a strong showing.
Yeah, I don't have an argument against, necessarily against Carolina, but I thought there would be a much starker difference between New York's, what New York was bringing to the table and what Carolina was bringing to the table a few weeks ago. Now, I don't necessarily see the gap is much more. It's much more of an even playing field to me. With Saquon Barkley playing well, I think that's an X factor. But no, I think it can go either way. Next up, Washington Commanders, fuckers, in Detroit. Is this the first game the Detroit Lions pull out the W in a close one? Last week they barely lost. I don't know. I think that I just feel. I mean, look, I want Detroit to be good.
Everybody
And I
wants
think
Detroit to be
if
good.
they're gonna, if there's a moment to prove that you're at least gonna be competitive, and and have and be around in November, trying to make a push. You got to beat these cats. You got to beat them soundly. And I think that on their offensive side with that line they have, with the Jared Goff is playing fine, but they have the pieces in place. This should be a game they win. I'm going with Detroit.
Yeah, I think so as well. We reviewed the offensive lines in the offseason. They were one of the better ones. You can make some money up there. On defense, you just stand around and Carson will throw it to you. So add those two together. I think Detroit wins here. Gets the first taste of kneecaps for the season.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like
the
Commanders on the road here. Detroit has a lot to go, and they were that score was close, but like not that close. I mean, come on.
The score was closer than the game was.
Yeah. They got their asses kicked by the Eagles, and the Washington is slightly worse than the Eagles. But I don't know. I don't know why I think the Commanders are going to win, but hopefully they don't. It's just whatever. Fuck it. The Commanders probably win because that's how life is. I think the Commanders, they'll get out to a hot start and have everyone excited about them, and then go through a rough stretch where they lose 9 in a row. I think that's very possible for them.
They'll go 3-0, and then they'll lose the rest of the game.
Yep.
Shit.
Tree.
I think this is going to be another one of those close games. As mentioned, I think, depends which Carson Wentz we get. Are we getting the fourth quarter, first half Carson Wentz, or are we getting that Carson Wentz for 5 minutes that threw 2 really bad interceptions? I still say, I saw a lot of Detroit. I think their defense does need some work, but I think they pull through. I think they win, say, game-winning field goal.
Boom. Detroit, 3-1. We'll see how it plays out. Kane Emmons for $5 says, to quote the water boy about the Cowboys, "Oh no, we suck again." He's not necessarily wrong there.
I can't even.
Next
Can't
game,
even repeat that.
Atlanta at LA playing the Rams. It's hard to say that this is necessarily a get-right game for the Rams because Atlanta actually showed something. They showed that they can play some decent football. They just don't know how to win games. They don't know how to close out. Look, if they're as close to being cursed right now as any sports team has ever been. If you take a look at the way that this shit keeps playing out for them, it is almost a parody of of football. Why do you keep going up 2 or 3 scores late in the game and lose? I want to believe that Atlanta can go in there and compete against the Rams. I think they can go in there and compete against the Rams. It's going to all boil down to, can you finish the game if you get a lead? Can you finish? Now, the Rams, they didn't look too hot against Buffalo, but I don't think anybody's going to look too hot against Buffalo right now. But it looked like they, dare I say, had a bit of a hangover from something. So this will be my upset of the week.
Ooh.
I'm going with the Falcons in LA and take the win on a Marcus Mariota bootleg at the goal line to the pylon for the 3-point win.
Shit.
That is a take, sir.
I do not share your optimism.
It didn't look like anybody did, to be honest.
Oh, the I mean, the only chance we have is if we spot them 10 points, then they're in trouble. Because God knows if we're up, we're going to find a way to fuck it off. I do think it's more competitive than most would expect. Although the way that the Rams' offensive line played,
their offensive line is bad.
That was pretty. That was really worrisome. Actually, I won't lie.
They missed
what we saw opening night.
Yeah, they looked so bad. Their left guard is probably the worst offensive lineman I've ever seen play.
No, you haven't seen Kendrick Green play yet, man. He got blown off the ball big time in training camp.
I'm going Rams here.
Okay, Ram committee, city committee. Let's see. Next, motherfuckers. Who else want to pick the Rams?
Holding out hope, though.
I
hope you're right, Uche.
I'm gonna pick the Rams. Stafford looks like shit. Don't get me wrong. He does not look good, but they got enough to beat the Falcons, right? Like the Falcons lost in an emotional way, a bad way. Like it's hard to recover from a loss like that. So I got the Rams. Especially traveling across the country, All right, come on.
Yeah, that's fair point. Fair point.
I mean, I'm going to go with 5 here and say the Rams. I mean, once again, I think it's just the reputation they have. They still have weapons on defense, and everyone looks like shit against Buffalo. I mean, that's not a real hard thing to say, unfortunately.
Yeah, we don't.
The cruelest irony would be Atlanta having another lead and then blowing it. And then just be like, really, Atlanta? Come on.
Just blow the team up. Just go set dynamite charges to Mercedes-Benz and implode the building and just wipe the football team away. No. If they do that again,
might have to.
Man, might have to go see a fucking seance, have a seance or something in the middle on the 50-yard line or something. try and kick that mojo back over or something. Jeez. All right. Next game. We got 3 games left here.
Division game.
Seattle.
Yeah,
division games here. These are all division matchups. Except for Eagles. Vikings. You got Seattle at San Francisco. Ooh. Honestly, man, I was expecting, and maybe it's unfair to expect that Trey Lance would be good right now, but I hoped that he would be better than he looked last week.
Better than this, yeah.
I hope that he'd be better than he was, look better than he did last week. San Fran's at home. I'm not, look, Seattle's coming off of they have an emotional high right now from beating Denver because that was the revenge game for Russell Wilson, essentially. And I mean, look, Geno Smith, he ain't looked this good since he was in Marsh? Where did he play at?
West Virginia.
West Virginia. Yeah, West Virginia. He ain't look. He is not. Look, when they said that he was going to be starting quarterback, I'll be dead honest. I was like, these motherfuckers ain't going to win, but like 3 games this year. maybe they'll win 3. I had no hope at all, and then I watched this cat play, and he's showing he's showing something, and it's like, yo, maybe you're a late bloomer, like a 10-year late bloomer, but I think Seattle wins this one. I think they go in there. I mean, it's a rivalry. It's one of the bigger rivalries in the NFL. Not necessarily the same as it was, but I think it's a good game. I think it's a close game. I think Seattle squeaks it out.
I'm really struggling to have any evidence or real conviction here.
I mean, I'm not even that convinced that. I mean, it's like 70% to me, like 65%.
I think San Fran needs this. I mean, way worse than Seattle does. No idea what the hell they're going to do at quarterback. I mean, obviously overreacting hugely in 1 week. I hope the kid is as good as advertised, but not off to the greatest of starts. I do think they win it at home, though.
Ooh, okay. Okay. Favre, where you at?
The thing with the second half of the Seattle-Denver game was they shut down Geno Smith. They kind of gave the blueprint. We don't even know how good Trey Lance is because the game that they played in Chicago was just really unfair. Like couldn't run the ball,
Yeah.
couldn't pass the ball. It was not a fair representation. Obviously, Chicago won it because, they were trailing.
You would have think.
Yeah, Chicago had trouble moving the ball until it finally stopped raining, and then it just worked out in Chicago's favor. I think San Francisco's got this game easy all the way, so no problem. I think Seattle's kind of counterfeit right now. Geno Smith is Geno Smith. Okay,
and that's why I'm not totally convinced because he flashed he had some good throws, but have you ever seen Geno Smith perform admirably throughout the course of a season?
They didn't even score in the second half, if I remember right. Or no touchdowns.
They had a field goal, I think.
Maybe
the only thing people know Geno Smith for is for broken jaw.
I'm gonna go ahead and switch up and pick these 49ers. I'm gonna switch that. Yeah, I've been swayed.
With San Francisco, for me, most of their issues came from a really bad field in Chicago. I think they do a lot better this time. Seattle was playing with incredible emotion because of Russell Wilson. I think 49ers take this one pretty easily.
All right. Leif Opstad says for $2, remember 5, Pete Carroll owns Kyle Shanahan.
Well, not
this year. Kyle Shanahan owns Sean McVay until the conference championship.
Yeah.
True that. All right, next game. Chicago at Green Bay. Okay, so this is a weird situation we find ourselves in here in week 2. Now, okay, Green Bay has tended to struggle in their first game of the season, going back a few years, but Chicago was always garbage, and that was kind of their get-right game. But is that the situation here? Now, again, like we said, that field that they played on last week worked out to their benefit. Chicago was able to get that win over San Fran, but you can't think they're going to take that into Green Bay and the Lambeau and beat the Packers, right? Like, I'm going with Green Bay on this one.
Yeah, Green Bay big here. I know Aaron Rodgers has a long way to go with these young receivers, but the two-headed monster behind him, I think, would be enough if they can't get it going in the air. Packers probably going away here.
I like the Packers here. They're pissed off. They lost to the Vikings. They're at home. Aaron Rodgers is way better than that Vikings loss. And, Chicago, they say the McCaskies will never sell the team, but Aaron Rodgers already owns them.
They're going to be doing ayahuasca every night.
Yep.
Trying to get right for this one.
All right, Tree, what you got? I think we all on the same page here.
Yeah, it's got to be Green Bay. Unless they absolutely implode, which I'll laugh hysterically at. But it's the only thing, once again, is Chicago is still like in that sort of tank mode. They're trying to rebuild, reforge the culture. This isn't Matt Nagy. I think Eberflus seems to have a bit more wherewithal. He hasn't been broken by certain events that have occurred and haven't been run to the ground. But I think Green Bay does take this one. I think they recover. Green Bay always has bad week ones.
Yeah, they don't do well in week 1. Green Bay definitely. I feel that. All right, last game up. And this one, I think this is an intriguing matchup here. We got Minnesota at Philadelphia. I like both of these teams, honestly. Minnesota looks like a more energized team than they've been. Now, I'll never have full faith in Kirk Cousins, but they have have tools. They have tools they can use to be competitive. But I honestly think Philly's got too much for him here. I'm going with Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts is playing all right, and what's his name that came from Tennessee? AJ Brown.
Yep,
Yeah,
AJ Brown is he's an X factor. He's a playmaker here. They got good offensive line, probably one of the top offensive lines in the NFL. 1, 2, or 3. You can put them anywhere. And their defense, their defense is going to, they're solid, but I think that against a team like this, Kirk Cousins is bound to throw 1 or 2 right to you. So I think they can take advantage of that. That might help them pad their lead a little bit. I'm going with Philadelphia. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you here, but I do need Justin Jefferson to go off for my fantasy team. But I think the Eagles are just a little too much. Finally got some good options for Jalen Hurts, and all those fails. Obviously, he can extend plays and make some things happen, but Kirk Cousins couldn't even dream of.
5.
Eagles big.
The way that it works is just when I want the Eagles to lose really bad in a game they probably should lose really bad, they're going to win like big. So I'm going to take the Eagles for just no reason. There's just no reason that they should win, but they'll probably win.
Well, you're kind of underrating the Eagles. I think the Vikings are still really good, though. I think both of these teams are playoff caliber. I think Philly has a really good chance to win their division now that Dallas is out of the way, unless somehow the Giants keep form. And then the Vikings, I said, the best move of the offseason, them firing Mike Zimmer. Kevin O'Connell seems like he's done a lot better in terms of utilizing his offense and, trying to get his defense and just being that new voice that they desperately needed. So I'm going to be quite the opposite here. I think it's going to be a revenge game from the 2017 playoffs where they got crushed. I think Minnesota takes this one.
Okay, there we go. So there you have it. Week 2 predictions. We'll go ahead and lock those away. I'm not sure exactly how to save it on here, but I'll make sure to keep that set up so that when we do come back next week, we will be able to compare notes. Okay, so got a super chat here from Arrow Flamble 1. Thank you, Uche and the Boilermakers, for giving my bolts. The A-Train and Xander Horvath scored the first Chargers TD of the season on the fullback flat. Yeah, you're welcome. I didn't know that guy existed. Real quick, before we end the show here tonight, let's take a real quick look at our fantasy football standings. Because after week 1, 50 Shades of Trey is leading the East Division. Tighten Your Game Up is leading the West. I got my Bishop Sycamore phonies in here, right behind it.
I like Najee by nature. That's pretty funny.
We got, we started up our fantasy league last week. I told y'all I was going to dominate. I'm only like point something behind the top overall point getter in the standings. So watch your back. But shout out to all of my fantasy football league members. You guys, it's going to be a fun season. We will keep up with these weekly, and we will have Dave Richard on again very soon to give us his predictions on fantasy football for this week, for next week. He'll probably be on live with us next week from CBS Sports HQ. But that is going to be it for the show tonight. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate 5 Points and Tree being on the show with us tonight. Seasonal guest hosts on the channel during the season. But I'm your reserve lineman, JB, Justin Blaylock, my co-host. We appreciate y'all. Everybody have a nice night, and we will catch you all on the next Lineman Life Live. Peace.
Awesome.